So this is Native Indigenous Day, rebranded by the system Columbus Day. I'm going to some history, make it a little bit understandable why it was Native Day and organic. It's actually a harvest celebration. So we're gonna get into a little bit of the culture that we can't seem to remember. It's a lot of stuff going on around us that have us confused about like how are we gonna get our shit back? Oh my, ooh, spooky. Or oh, they gonna kill us all, World War IV, murder us all. Ooh, spooky. It's gonna be a slobber knocker up in Capitol Hill. Ooh, spooky. Got motherfucking stage shows being passed off as some real goddamn shit. While they feeding y'all that motherfucking dramatic doomsday scenario of total destruction and annihilation of the world. Ooh, spooky. Keep you in a state of fear so you won't never be in a position to regain your personal power back. That's some spooky shit for real. To surrender your personal power to a motherfucker that been doing the shit that they've been doing to us since we haven't been using our power. That's the spooky shit. Not all that Putin gonna blow us all up. He declared war on the New World Order. He's supposed to declare war on the New World Order. That ain't nothing outside of the motherfucking norm. That's not no spooky shit. He talking about the deep state. He just putting Trump on notice that we almost about to close this Haitian conjure and that these motherfuckers is about to get their balls handed to them on a motherfucking plastic dirty ass plate that we picked up in one of them landfills where they dumped off in the third world countries because who gives a fuck about the poor people, right? My mama say you can't throw people away like trash. People always worrying about somebody's skin color and don't want to care about how people treat you or how you treat them. No. So, we familiar with Thanksgiving as some kind of feast day. We familiar with the Day of the Dead, Cinco de Mayo, which is a Mardi Gras festival from Mexico. We don't know what this shit mean though, right? So coming off of the winter months, when the ground is barren for growing crops, we will resort then to using dense protein-rich diets, aka meat substance. So, when the ground starts to thaw out, right, it's the resurrection of the dead earth. Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, is the beginning of the tilling of the ground for harvest, right? So it's actually the Day of the Dead, Dia de Muerte, is a celebration of the dead earth during the winter months where you don't grow crops, becoming fertile. Now, they knew about this growth cycles in the north and all the way down into northern portions of South America. They have a different growth period down there than we do up here. So you'll see in Brazil, they Mardi Gras, Los Carnaval festivals and parade is at a different time of the year than Cinco de Mayo, and it's a different time of year from the harvest festivals. Now, during the summer months, you have what you have early blooming foodstuffs, like as early as if you planting around that first week of May the 5th, probably by mid-June, you'll be able to begin harvesting bell peppers. You'll be able to harvest some tomatoes, especially green tomatoes. You will be able to harvest bell peppers, jalapenos, but if you leave them on there a little longer, they'll get a little bigger. And so during the summer months, we have, interim festivals to celebrate harvest and, food stuff being delivered to the clans. So by the time August get around, it's hot as hell outside and the shit growing fast as hell. So then you start to see the temperatures start dropping around September. And September, by the way, means 7th month in the 9th month. Make that make sense. So during September, the weather starts to cool, and now you can start getting your long-growing vegetables from the garden, but you ain't ready to do the full harvest yet. So you pluck and ripe vegetables and all throughout the summer months, because different stuff mature in fruit at different periods throughout the summer. But when it get ready to close the garden down for the cold months, because it's going to kill everything anyway, you harvest everything, right? That means the ones that popped up late, they're still like green, they haven't ripened yet. Some of them are ripening on the shelf naturally just by sitting out. That's why when you go to the elders in the South, they always have bowls of vegetables and fruits and baskets, which is one of our customs. Now, when you get to October, now we know old man winter is beating this bitch down now. We falling into the middle of fall now. So the leaves starting to turn colors, and we use that as the signal to start emptying out what's in the field. So now this has become what you call a grand harvest or a complete harvest, where you start harvesting all of the food that's out in the field so that none of it go to waste. And then you can then treat the ground with the manure or with composted leaves and stuff like that in order to re-enrich the soil for the next growing season after the death of the earth, or the death of actually the growth cycle on the gardens. So you notice that they always need an almanac. A farmer's almanac damn near can tell you what day, what weather pattern going to hit in what part of the land, right? So today, Indigenous Day begins the clearing of the fields, right? And the clearing of the fields is the start of the final fall harvest, and it takes about 4 weeks generally to harvest it all. And then you have to, the women would can up the vegetables that was going to be used in long-term storage. Some of them they dried out, herbs they dried out. All that stuff is being taking place from the end of October all the way going into what we know as Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was the natives' harvest celebration, and Black Friday was the day they slaughtered us all when we was high on motherfucking alcohol, THC, and motherfucking tryptophan. So you be in a deep sleep. That's why it's called Black Friday, because it was that Friday morning in the dead of night between midnight Thursday going into the witching hour of Friday, where they started doing the slaughter of the chiefs, right? So they never took the festival away from our harvest, which they call it Thanksgiving now. But it's really not Thanksgiving because it's not showing gratitude to any other people. It's the harvest festival, and the gratitude is to Mother Earth for blessing us with a bountiful harvest. Now, we have gift baskets we used to give out, and you will see them actually in my room. I got a picture of Big Mama with one of the gift baskets. But the women would put together a small gift basket that represents samples of all of the vegetables that they would be giving to any particular family. And then they would take the sample basket, give it to the Big Mama to evaluate what quality is the harvest. And that became known as your traditional fruit baskets and vegetable baskets, because that was the sampler plates for the harvest that Big Mama is receiving from any particular clan that's bringing her food. And we got Big Mamas is all over the land. And Big Mama house, we got male and female chiefs. They're my uncles and aunties to us. But when you lead a clan, they become the chief that represent the family. It's saying the chief in indigenous understanding is no different than a Muslim calling their prayer leader an imam, which means the one that's out front. The one that's out front is the one that the family say, you go out and you be the ambassador to the world for the family, so that the people can see our character and how we interact with each other based on how you raise. Because now you've become the charmer, meaning you've mastered charm school, right? So now you've harnessed your noble qualities. So then the chiefs, male or female, becomes the face of the family that the rest of the public see before they become familiar with the family. Now, the harvest festivals, it's not gonna never leave our culture like Mardi Gras. But the reason why we need to be familiar with Black Friday is because the day of the slaughter, right? Now, what the original meaning or purpose of Halloween was is it was the acknowledgement that Mother Earth was going into the dead season. And the dead season is always preceded by a honoring of the ancestors by dressing up in varying different representations of stages of decay of a corpse. That's why the skeleton is synonymous with Halloween. That's why the witch is synonymous with Halloween. And the vampires is the motherfuckers that came over here sucking the blood of our kids. And we was the ones who wore the wolves as a pelt. So we wear wolves. So we the werewolves. And, Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. So we really honoring the earth with these ceremonies. And that's why you can't take Mardi Gras from them people in New Orleans without creating the worst backlash and upheaval that you could imagine. You think that these motherfucking natives was fighting in Florida. Go down there right before Mardi Gras and you tell them motherfuckers in New Orleans that they can't have Mardi Gras this year, and see if your ass make it the fuck up out of there. I'm just saying. You can't, that's like trying to take Cinco de Mayo from those people that came from Mexico. We hear what you saying, but fuck what you talking about, because we gonna still dress up Cinco de Mayo, Dia de Muerte, the Day of the Dead. We still gonna walk around and honor the honorable. So, yeah, you could tell me we ain't having that shit, motherfucker, but when you see these motherfuckers all dressed up in the colors of the dead, you understand the depth and richness of the culture and how much they knew to take from us at one time in order to minimize the amount of our culture on display so we can continue this amnesia shit. But somebody was paying attention. Somebody was paying attention. So fuck them motherfuckers. Fuck the boat they came in on. They told us, anybody that studied American history, they told us that the Spanish brought horses to the Americas and that the natives mastered them. They never show us, they always show us camels in the Middle East. Think about that for a minute, because I'm about to tell y'all something. They told us the Spanish bring the horses and the natives master riding the horses. And they told us that camels is from the Middle East. They also said there's only African and Asian elephants. Go to Google and Google ancient American elephant, and then you're going to see that we had a pachyderm that was similar to the woolly mammoth, but it was more closely related to the modern elephant. They killed them bitches off first. That's why over here and around the world, the elephant is going to always be the symbol of the matriarch, because it's on all three major land masses, the Americas, Africa, and Europe, which feeds off Asia, right? The Eurasian landmass. So it's elephants was on all these motherfuckers. So the harvest festivals this time is gonna be us reaping the bounty of a dead system that didn't pay this motherfucking debt back to the people that it stole it from under the false pretenses of being a government, and all the time it was a goddamn occupying army on our territory pretending to be our government. And that's why the Electoral College elect the president, but they tell the people to go vote so they can take a survey and see how many of us is some go along and get along ass niggas that don't do no background check on what this election shit is, because that's not how we select leadership in our community. Most loved, most respected, straight bump motherfucker that don't be for the bullshit, don't start none, nor do they take any, right? And you got to be motherfucking man or woman enough to stand on your own 2 feet anywhere on the land and still be able to come up and survive, no matter where you from. So that means they got to be able to take me from Michigan, drop me off in L.A. in the middle of Bloods and Crips, and see if I can maintain my respect status among foreign clans. Well, they didn't all came. Bloods, Crips, Vice Lords, Stones, GDs, BDs, BGs, Maniacs, MS-13, Hell's Angels, Devil Disciples, El Diablos. All of them came, and they all left telling me, oh, much love, brother, plenty of respect, and we'll meet up again. So now we calling in all of the motherfucking markers. When the OGs tell them motherfuckers on 1110 in the penitentiary not to move, that's going to scare these motherfuckers balls loose. All these penitentiaries across the land are people that's been wrongfully convicted by a system that's not supposed to be here. Now, I understand some of the motherfuckers got some serious issues in there and don't need to be out in the general public. But I also understand that most of the people in the 90 plus percentile is only there from circumstances. They were circumstantially baited into committing crimes that the laws and the crimes was created at the same time, right? So when you read in the legal books, it says no ex post facto law shall be passed, right? What that means is they can't find something you're doing, turn it into a crime, and come back and get you. So you know what they do? Anything you might do, they legislate against it before you do it. So when you do it, it becomes a crime. That should be criminal. It's not against the law to make money in any form whatsoever, but it's illegal. You gotta understand that. It's not against the law to make money how you make money. It's illegal when they say that you're not following the rules of their judiciary, right? But there's no there's no processing of jurisdiction to show that they part of the government in any of the court systems. So they have to leave. They can't stay here. And all of the inmates then automatically get automatic appeals because the system was predicated and built upon a constructed fraud. And to keep them in there is the same as saying that's fruits of the poisonous tree is admissible in law now. No, the fruit of the poisonous tree is the proceeds of a crime. That's a RICO Act, right? So it's called RICO, Racketeering and Corrupt Organizations. And Rico is a Spanish name that means rich. Puerto Rico means the rich port. That's where the den of thieves hid their wealth before they got ran the fuck up out of there by the Puerto Ricans, and then they fled back to El Maghrib with they motherfucking what they call it, booty. They took their booty and left, right? So when they left Puerto Rico in distress, the English saw opportunity to try to seize power. And that's why they always have to negotiate or vote in Puerto Rico on the deciding to become a state or not every so many years, because the Puerto Ricans were smart enough to know that we can't make deals with the motherfuckers. We can't trust them. They can't be trusted. They made deals with everybody else, and they always reneged on every deal. So we just continue to vote until we can end this shit. So, today, Columbus Day, is a deliberate slap in the face to all indigenous and organic people across the land. All of us that was already here. Christopher Columbus was a Tawny Moor navigator, conquistador. And his navigator was Pedro del Negro, who was a blackamoor. And he was the one that was calling the shots on the ship. And he's also the one who had the maps. And the one with the maps is the navigator. And the navigator is the one to tell the captain where the fuck he going. So what we did is we said, fuck Columbus, and we going to stick to our indigenous motherfucking beginning of the harvest notice to the people by having a celebration or announcing that there will be celebrations of the harvest. We having Mardi Gras all across this bitch, from motherfucking Maine to goddamn Arizona, and from Alaska to goddamn Florida, and everywhere in the middle. From the top of Canada to the bottom of South America, we finna be partying hardy around this motherfucker. We having Dia de Muerte everywhere. We finna celebrate the shit out this victory over these motherfucking rotten motherfuckers that had their foot on our necks for all this time. You think we ain't finna celebrate getting from under this tyranny? Fuck yeah, we gonna celebrate, nigga. Crack a motherfucking fifth of that hen. Bring me some Cavassier, nigga. Bring me a motherfucking 6-pack of Bud Light. Bring me some Miller Genuine Draft in this bitch. Come on, we finna go down here and fuck that shit. We ain't, no, tell them kids y'all not fighting today. We finna go celebrate getting this motherfucking monkey off our back. We done with this shit. God damn, we be glad when this shit over with. And these motherfuckers was letting the Haitian kinds of clothes on schedule. Woo, we about to party hardy. I'm just saying. So I didn't ran my jib. I just said what I had to say. I'm gonna start taking in the callers. Do what they do. Pabst Blue Ribbon. That's the auntie beer. What's
What's
going
up,
on?
OG?
You got it, fam. How you doing?
I can't call it, man. I can't call it. Same old, man. I'm just waiting on the what's up. You feel me, man? My people
Yeah,
tired, bro. We burnt out, right?
yeah. Hey, look. I've been in the trenches. So you think you tired?
I know you've
Nigga.
been in the trenches. I know. Yo,
Nigga.
I know. I already know. Yo, Rod, one question though, right? When we get this shit back together, we gonna grow our big trees again?
So yeah, we gonna be growing trees. One of the programs that we gonna be doing, we getting rid of the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts of America, and we are going to have family centered similar things where the kids not getting molested.
Right,
And
right.
the orphans belong to me. All the orphans, my kids. And so what we do for educational purposes, we going to be planting what's called the fruit forest. Everything in the forest going to be edible.
That's
And
how
it's
it
going
used to be, right? That's how it used to be, right?
well, some parts of the forest wasn't edible. Like right now, if you go to the Amazon, every tree, you can't eat from every tree.
Yeah, I know that.
But
I know that. I know that.
so when you read the story about the Garden of Delight, Gan as they call it, or the Garden of Eden, that was actually a fruit forest, but they burned it down.
Yeah, I know they burned everything down or flooded it out. Either
Yeah,
that's
I'm thinking about my next Young Elder show. We might do on mud floods and great fires.
yeah. I think the people need to hear about that. I was listening to the live what you was talking about the other day about chiefs and the family, like everybody bringing everybody together. You know what's so crazy, yo? I'm the motherfucker in the family that the older people even come to and ask questions to. So it's gonna be easy for me. Everybody in the family love me, especially how I took care of my great grandma before she passed away, yo. Everybody in the family love me. So it's gonna be easy for me to bring the family from everywhere, down south, up, wherever. I could bring everybody together. So I
Yeah.
already know what my
Also,
part is in the
remember
family.
this. Remember that goes with that. There's family members that you related to you never had a conversation with. Try to have a conversation
It,
with them.
no, I don't got no family members that I don't got like I didn't have beef with back in the day and I don't mess with. I don't got no family
No,
members
not
like
that.
that.
I'm talking
It's
about
some
just the
that I don't
ones.
know at all that I never
That's
talked
what
to
I'm
you at.
talking about right
Oh, all
there.
right, right,
That's what
right,
I'm talking about. Those
right.
where you have never met them. That like your auntie, you might have met her, but you probably never met none of her kids.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
Right.
It's a
So
lot of them.
them the ones you start reaching out to, telling them who you is and asking them about themselves and their life.
All
I
right,
seen my
okay.
boy Turk in here. What's up, Turk? I ain't
Oh,
had a
yep.
chance.
One more question, Rob. My grandma last name before she got married was Huckleberry. Like, what's the connection with that last name?
She was the law.
The law?
The law. They was the ones who was them was the part of the clan that was the law.
Yeah, she from down Texas, down Houston, somewhere, Texas, somewhere. I gotta figure out exactly what part of Texas she was from, but they was the Huckleberry.
Yeah, they the law. They make a mockery in the cartoon called Huckleberry Hound, where he the sheriff.
Okay.
The clan though is the Huckleberries, and the Huckleberries was so big that they could send 10 sons out to any one of the big mamas that needed to go get one of her badass boys that won't act right.
Damn, that makes sense, yeah. Cause
That's
I was
why that's
you
why
not
when you watch Tombstone, Doc Holliday tell my man when he talking about he looking for a gunfight and he say, I just might be your Huckleberry.
all right, I remember that skit. I remember that
Yeah.
skit. I remember that skit. I
Yeah,
remember that
that's
skit.
that
I
because the
remember that skit.
Huckleberries, they it's an old famous Western native. They paint him off as a European though, but they called him Deadeye. They made a comic character that Will Smith played off of him. And he was a comrade to Bass Reeves, but his job was to bust that motherfucking thing.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. So
Yeah,
you saying the Huckleberries was like the cops, right? But you saying we ain't had no prison systems back in the day. So
no,
how did
they
we
be
find that?
okay. So let's say my big mama sending you need to get me, and she know that I'm gonna fuck up any one of my cousins that come over and try to get me. She calling the Huckleberries. Go get that nigga and bring him here. Cause the Huckleberries, they gonna come 10 deep every time. And the first thing they gonna do is challenge you to a fight, because we always fight when you get a challenge. If you lose the scrap, I'm taking you back to your big mama house. Now, whatever I did that made Big Mama send them to come get me, I'm gonna have to deal with them uncles when I get home. All of them motherfuckers.
All right, damn, yeah. It was structured
All of
back
them
then. It was
uncles.
structured back then. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
structured back then. It
yeah,
makes sense. It makes sense. It makes
yeah.
sense.
But Deadeye was a Huckleberry. And he was called Deadeye because it was a dead eye aim. If you put the bead on your ass and you pop that thing, you ain't getting up.
Damn. He was a bad motherfucker. His draw probably was crazy back in the day.
Just like Bad
We was
Steve.
the
Just
we was the
like Bad
original
Steve.
Cowboys, right? We was the original Cowboys, right?
Man, I was talking about that earlier. Horses is native to over here. They told us the Spanish brought horses over here.
So we was the first people, like nobody else, no other land. We
We
was the
we've
land
been
with the
riding horseback since motherfucking this was Atlantis. Cowboys and aliens in this bitch.
dang.
And the camel is native to America.
Yeah, but they sell it to us like it's from the Middle East and
Right.
the deserts in the Middle East over there.
That's
Like
cause that's so we can't unlock the Shriners.
yo, you know what's so crazy? What I tell people a lot, yo, they be always like, "Well, why the pyramids still intact over there?" Because that go with their story and telling that we all come from Africa, and they wanted to leave some old stuff up so it could look like we connect with it, right? That's what they was doing.
Talking about here?
No, I'm talking about over in what's that, Giza or over in Africa where they
Man,
still
that's
got the pyramids
Hollywood,
at.
man. Listen, that's Hollywood. That ain't even the real shit. That's just Hollywood. That's where we went. We was over there educating motherfucking Inky kids in the north and putting a buffer between Inky and Enlil so they won't be tearing each other up. And we was reenacting the holy drama, which was the court case that gave us the Pleiadian light lock. That's what the whole fucking Giza complex is all about, telling us that the orders came from Orionos, the Orion constellation, and it came from our Pleiades, which is the Canary Islands, to put us in the light lock for fucking 6,000 years.
Dang.
Right? But it really lasted 36,000 years.
36,000 years?
Yeah, before the last ice age. We've been in a light lock that long. So what they did is the Earth had got destroyed in the war. So they shut everything down, including our intelligence, and said, now build that shit back up from scratch.
That's like when you said they put like a little something on our DNA, right? So we can't use all of it, right? That's coming back though, right?
Yep, Enki designed it that when the solar flares start popping like they is now, and when the stars align to where they are now, it'll start to activate what's known as junk DNA.
That makes sense. Yo, what's up with the moon being out all day long? That thing, that joint look like it's on top of the buildings downtown. I'm in Philly. That joint look like it's like you could jump up one of them buildings and touch that joint. That's how close it is. What's up with that? Then it's
Hey, that
like,
motherfucker. Hey, the moon a battleship.
I know.
Let some shit get thick. That motherfucker pull off.
Yo, one day motherfuckers didn't believe me. Yo, that motherfucker was bloodshot red, right? It was on the corner, like out of the corner of my block, right? It only take me about 40 seconds to run in the house, grab my phone, and come back and record it. I got back probably 30 seconds later, it was gone. Like I ain't see it fly off or nothing, but it disappeared. Motherfuckers like, bro, you sure you seen the moon, bro? I'm like, yeah, I seen the moon, bro. Bloodshot, that joint was bloodshot red too, right? Low in orbit, like real low in orbit.
Hey, look, it's a spot in northwest, north of Alaska. The moon, it look like you can reach out and touch that motherfucker.
I believe you can see it that close in Philly. So I know certain parts is even closer. I'm telling you, man, that joint's so close. Yeah, the moon's so close
Y'all
right
gonna
now.
be seeing
I
a
know
lot of
something about to pop
anomalies.
off.
Y'all gonna be seeing a lot of anomalies in Philly because the Scottish Rite had put a sigil map curse on Philly. That's why they moved the capital.
The real capital is Philadelphia, right? Where they signed the Constitution and all that, right? It makes
Yeah,
sense, yeah. Washington D.C. ain't no fucking cat. That's the throw off, right?
it's a foreign enclave. It's an embassy. That's it. It's closed now though.
Oh, I already know. What's up with the art museum? What's in the art museum? Nothing.
Which
Whole
one? They
bunch of
got a
nothing.
bunch of them.
The one down the Parkway, the Philadelphia Art Museum on the Parkway.
It's a lot of shit in there. Those paintings in there tell stories. Take a,
Somebody said it was the gates to hell in there.
oh, that's the gate to the motherfucking vault. You see the movie with Nicolas Cage, National Treasure?
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah. I seen
entrance
that.
to the vault that he's talking about is in Philly. That's why it was the
Man,
capital.
man, that's deep. That's deep. I know a lot of stuff be making sense to me though. I'm like, how the Capitol in Washington D.C. when they signed the Constitution and all that in Philadelphia and the Liberty Bell here, Independence Hall, like what happened to that? They just we're gonna switch it up and send everything to Washington D.C. now.
Right, because that was ran by organic people from the land. They needed their own enclave to operate from, or else they would have fell under our jurisdiction.
Because at one point the United States was only a little bit of like Pennsylvania and what was it? A little bit of New Jersey and a little bit of New York, right?
Yeah,
That was
what we
the
call it.
original United States, right?
Yeah, what we call the Northeast.
The Northeast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already know something about to pop off though, right? I can feel it. I can see it.
Hey,
I can
look,
feel it.
the lightning
Lately,
bolt.
I've
The
been like, no
lightning.
lie, not to cut you off, but like the past 2 weeks, yo, like I've been like super happy, just out of nowhere. And I mean, when I'm telling you, I've been getting crazy money out of like just blessings on blessings on blessings out of nowhere lately, yo. I just been in like abundance, like happy, like it don't nothing really make me. Even somebody be on some bullshit, I'll be mad for 2 seconds. Then be like, man.
Yeah. So, Philly got a lot of good shit coming to it. When the people realize that they don't have to fight each other no more, everybody gonna eat. Soon as
Yeah,
they
I
realize
can't
that
wait for that.
the only reason why we gotta, because Philly is a city where they grind hard in Philly.
Yeah, I'm in South Philly, so you know it's the smallest part of Philly. So you know everybody know each other, everybody cousins, but we still kill each other. You feel me? You
Right,
going to
because
war with a motherfucker 2 blocks away, you might go to war with a nigga right next door, 2 doors down. That's
yeah,
how tight it is.
that's
You know,
Philly
houses
culture.
bunch.
That's the curse they put on Philly. Philly was the city of brotherly love for a reason.
Exactly. So that
Because
don't make sense.
you couldn't get two people from Philly to fight each other. But if you came from Boston, they'd beat your ass together.
You
That's why they
can't.
called it the city of brotherly love. The
It ain't like
brothers in
that no more,
Philly,
Rod.
they look, it'll come back. But they used to be like, that's my brother. I ain't fighting him. He's from Philly.
I ain't
Period.
gonna lie. It's still some hospitality here, yo. But there's a
The
little
culture,
throwed
the
off.
culture, the culture is still simmering. We finna turn that bitch back up to a boil. It's
Yeah,
gonna
I'm.
always be wired in the Philly. Only thing happened is divide and conquer made y'all form cliques.
Yeah, we rep block. You know, everybody got gangs and all that. We rep our block, whatever block you
Yep,
grew up on, or the 2 block radius around. That's where you from.
yep.
We don't got no gangs and none of that over here. We don't know bloods. I mean, you know, since the internet came out, you got little people that's doing their little blood and crip stuff, but we call them, to be honest, they like the weirdos. If you want to be technical in the city, they ain't the ones doing the real stuff. Like, you feel me? Then a lot of people down here think that a lot of this killing going on be like drug related. Man, half of these motherfuckers be dying over women. Yeah, more than 95% of it be you fucking with this and he getting a little bit more money than it's crazy, yo. Like you said, yo, I can't wait until the motherfucking frequency and the energy change and we just start loving each other again and just let everybody know, like, yo, it's enough for everybody. I thought the internet had changed that a little bit. You see how many people lit out here, yo, and we still fighting and killing over crumbs, yo. It's crazy, yo. It's crazy. I thought a motherfucker like me would start talking like, you know, getting in what I get in, and people would be like, damn, if Sean talking like that, damn, oh. Cause I'm the thorough nigga where I come from, right? Like the cool. The cool nigga everybody want to be around from everywhere. Anybody I go around, it don't matter what type of person you is, you gonna take a liking to me and want to be around me, yo. So I'm thinking that once I got on it, you know, people would be like, damn, what's Sean talking about? No, you know what they did to me, right? Then that motherfucker lost his mind. How the fuck I lost my mind when I'm still doing the same shit I've been doing? I'm just looking at shit
Because you
differently.
don't fit in the box they made for you. If you fit in the box, then they would be, you know, it wouldn't be no big deal. But you don't fit in the box.
I know. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't been looking that crazy lately because them same people I done heard been calling me crazy. Be, damn, what's going on with this? It look a little stuff looking a little fishy. I know it's gonna be real crazy, and y'all gonna be all they're gonna be all trying to reach out to me, right? It's cool. I ain't gonna give them the cool shit. I'm gonna just say I tried to get y'all on board back then.
Well, they're line up. Everybody got to bump straight in the end. I'm gonna take another call. I'm gonna let you drop down. I don't know how
Yeah,
much longer I got because I
yeah,
think
go
they
ahead.
got
My
my
bad.
videos on.
I ain't want to burn you out like that. It's
Oh
always a
no,
pleasure
you
talking
good,
to
you
you,
good.
OG. You
Because I,
already know.
me and you be the burnt up the whole live when
Yeah,
nobody
you
else.
already know. You already know. All right, Rod.
All right, peace, God.
All right.
So y'all see this book right here? Hey,
Hello.
beloved,
How are you?
you good? Tell the people where you calling from.
I'm calling from Ohio.
Ohio in the house.
To speak,
Buckeye State.
yeah, I mean, you're from, what'd you say about Ohio?
Buckeye State.
Yes, yeah, I'm from Cleveland. A question I wanted to ask while I have, because first I want to tell you, I'm so honored to talk to you. When you first followed me, I was going through such a hard time. And like, you know, the Matrix will try to pull you, try to get you, try to capture you,
Yeah.
and they going to send everything at you. But it was like, you have followed me. I've been studying you for like probably 4 years. I feel like I always said I never felt safe here, but my spirit was awakened. Well, my soul was awakened in 2019. And I've been studying you since then. So a question I asked is, I know one time I had seen that you were on live with someone and they were talking about the straw man and 1099A and all the authentication processes. And you were basically saying like, in a sense, you're still a part of the U.S. corporation. So should a person seek to start learning about consumer laws, or is it already over?
Listen, you can learn about everything. There's nothing wrong with learning about it. When, but you act on it before you become fully informed. You set yourself up for failure. The thing with that 1099 OID, 1099A, the redemption format that they have in the nationality agreements is those are all slave contracts that is performance based slave contracts. And the fucked up part about them is you the only motherfucker obligated to hold up your end of the contract because the people you contracting with have no honor. They don't respect your part, they part of the contract at all. That's because they never signed the treaties that the contract stemmed from with the organic people. They brought people over here to masquerade as us and gave them chief status by presidential order, and then they signed treaties in our name. But it was never us. None of the organic tribes agreed to ever sign treaties. All of the treaties were signed with $5 Indians.
Okay.
So they had to go get certification, and the filing fee was $5, and then the federal government recognized them. The Bureau of Indian Affairs is who they fall under, right? And the FBI is the law. That's who enforce law on reservations, right? If it would have been our people, then they would have used the marshal and the sheriffs in the local area to enforce tribal laws on the land. We have tribal courts that's been there, that's never left. When you used to go to court in early colonial America and you was organic to the land and you told them who your chief or a competent delegate would go argue a jurisdictional matter because they never had jurisdiction over us. Now you don't see Chief so and so as the attorney no more. But when you read in the old cases, they'll say he had so and so and so and so who is Chief such and such from the such and such clan came in on his behalf, right? And then they go into how they negotiated the treaty. The warrants is an ongoing declaration of war against individuals by a squatters on the land. A warrant is a war rant. A rant is an ongoing statement of war. The Supreme Court ruled that the organic people over here is perpetual enemy combatants. And the first time I seen it in law until the 1990s, the late 90s or the early 2000s, it was an enemy combatant was mentioned in the law in the Supreme Court way back in like the 1800s. So this is why when we try to fight for civil rights, we fighting to be included in the corporate fiction under our straw man capacity. When we do that, we tell the system we are imbeciles in law because we don't know their jurisdiction is defective, because they have no statement of jurisdiction from the executive branch of their own government, and their own government Supreme Court said that they was a foreign corporation operating on native land. This is all in their law. This is rulings by their courts. So they already acknowledge that they don't belong here, and that if we ever get our shit together, there ain't nothing they can do but get the fuck out the way.
Amen,
So
Pastor.
all that paperwork shit is a paper trap that locks you in with a paper chain.
That's what I figured. Cause I mean, I've been seeing things about it, but it's like, if it's over, it's over. We ain't got to keep doing all of this with y'all. And I see a lot of people's like, people ask me all the time, like, what made you change your mind, or what made you look at life differently? And like, I don't think it, I feel like we all are we come here and we are just, like I tell people, you're not even yourself. You're not even you. Like, so much of you is not you. Like, so much of you is your school, your religion, your ethnicity. And so much of you is not you. So when you really take a step back and really want to figure out you, because I tell people all the time, spirituality was not about finding self. It was about getting some, what is going on here? What is this? What is everything that's going on? And really wanting to understand the oneness of everything. So I thank you for that. I really didn't have any questions. I've been trying to get on here with you for so long for to even ask that.
Why
So
you ain't inbox me? You've been around that long. You know I've answered as many people as I can.
but you're a busy man. I know people be bombarding you with so
That
much
don't
stuff.
stop nobody else from reaching out.
I gotta
I ain't
ask.
hard to find.
I know you right up there. You right by me, like right by me.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Right up
really
the
appreciate
road.
you. I appreciate you so much because everybody think they so tough and so gangsta. I said, we gonna see how tough everybody is very soon. We gonna see.
They must ain't hear what Mustafa Farrakhan said.
What she say? I'll be trying to get off of here.
Look, Mustafa said the Messiah, the most sane out of all of us, he got some crazy ass followers.
100%.
So
A lot of
look,
people didn't think I was like, because I don't say I'm spiritually gifted, because we all are spiritually gifted, but I didn't know who I was. And people be like, oh, you think you're, because people, when I tell people that we are gods and we are also chaos energy, they kind of look at me like, what are you
that's the
talking about?
same thing.
Thank you. Where do everything come from?
You only difference is you when you say we gods, you speaking from a religious perspective. When you say we chaos energy, you describing us using physics. That's it. That's like saying I'm dirt. Now I'm talking about geology.
Mm.
So when Clans 13 next label them gods and earths, this the same shit. The gods emerged from the earth. The child was born to Mother Earth. Same shit,
The
right?
universe.
The chaos found order.
Mm. That's deep. I needed that. I needed that.
So they be talking and they be thinking you be saying something different from them because they don't even know the fucking language they talking.
People hate when I ask them all the time. I like, what does that word mean? People get so upset. Everything doesn't have to have a meaning. I'm like, I just want you to know what you're doing, what you're saying, why you're saying what you're saying, because they know that we didn't need. And I tell people think, oh, I'm losing my mind. I tell people we never had sex. We didn't need all this stuff we're doing. We weren't doing this stuff. So I tell them
We've been fucking a long time. Don't get it twisted.
yeah, we have been.
Ever since the women decided to have men as companions on Earth, we've been fucking.
Centuries.
But there was a time where the women didn't have men on Earth to fuck with, so wasn't no fucking going on. It was probably a bunch of hugging and kissing, touching and licking, but wasn't no fucking going on. But one day, a group of women sat down and was like, "Hey, we need to create somebody. I'm tired of feeling breasts. I want to feel some strong pectoral muscles. I want a motherfucker with some motherfucking girth on his arms. I'm tired of touching them on soft, dainty arms. That's, so now they decided to make man. That's why it's two creations in Genesis. The first one was when the sisters got together, the original guys, and said, let us make them in our image. And they created them in tribes and families. It was Genesis 1:26-27. Then along come a fake God and fucked up genetics, talking about let us make a Gulum like that man over there. Fucking idiots. They not gonna never be smarter than Big Mama.
Ever. Ever, 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 ever.
Everything they know is already in her mind. And my mama say, check out your mind because I'm gonna be with you all the time.
One final question I want to ask. So my mom, she suffers, well, I don't think she suffers from any mental disorder, but she has, for years, she has always said that she sees things, hear things, and I feel like she is, like, I know for a fact she is my big mama. Like, I know this because I feel like she is the person that all the spirits come to, because she doesn't take death well. Like, she doesn't really deal with stuff like that well, but they have diagnosed her with schizophrenia, bipolar 2, depression, PTSD, all these things. So she's currently trying to stop taking the medicine.
You want to take them one by one and we tell you what they really is?
Yes, please. Let me actually write this down because I'll be trying to talk to her about this stuff, and I'm really into herbal medicines and things like that because I want her to get off the medicine, but I don't want her to spiral and not really know how to deal with her chaos energy because I don't think she know how to grasp it.
What the medication have withdrawal effects. That's what you're more worried about.
That's the thing. So she'll stop. She won't take it for like a couple days, and she won't sleep. She can't sleep. Only way she can sleep is if she take the medicine.
That's because her higher self is wide awake.
Mm-hmm.
She gotta sedate the body. She's not sedating her higher self. She can't put that motherfucker to sleep. Remember what Dick Gregory say, once you put these glasses on, you can't take these motherfuckers off. Believe me, I've tried everything but a crowbar to get them off, and they won't go nowhere.
They ain't going nowhere. They won't. They don't. I tell people all the time, I've always been this person, but I found myself trying to water it down.
Yeah, I never tried to water it down, but I tried to ignore it and run from it. And the faster I ran, every time I bump into the motherfucker in front of me. Look, I thought I left you behind me. What the fuck you doing here?
Okay, so schizophrenia, what would that be? Like, what is that?
It's called clairvoyance.
Okay.
It's a psychic ability to hear other channels in the universe.
Clairvoyance.
The key to conquering schizophrenia is do a lot of math problems and to determine which one of the voices is yours. So you got to systematically, when you hear voices in your head, ask them who you are, where you come from, and why you here. And if they don't answer, then you got to tell them to leave and don't come back, motherfucker. Make sure you put motherfucker at the end.
My mom loved listen. She loved that one, so she gonna love that. Okay, so I got that. Bipolar. She had bipolar depression.
Right. So the bipolar mean that she's emotionally sensitive where something can trigger her to go from one extreme to the other. The remedy for that is fasting that gives you control of your emotional self.
And then PTSD.
That's true. That's probably the only real one she might have.
Okay.
Post-traumatic stress disorder, aka post-traumatic slave disorder, is the condition that they manufacture by instituting trauma in order to make you trauma bond instead of truly bond. A trauma bond love affair doesn't turn out well.
I know.
So post-traumatic stress disorder, if she can get her psychic self-defense up, she'll begin to conquer that naturally. Because all that is she haven't been able to get over a past trauma, and it's still interfering with her thinking process.
Okay. I think I got everything on here. I think I do. Because I've been trying to really help my mom develop. Because I think, like, she tells me all the time, like, you're me. Like, literally, you're me. Like, 100%. I like how, because you were on live with the girl from Florida a couple days ago. And she was saying how she feel like, well, you said that her parent, because since she was a favorite, her parents' parent decided to be born again through them. And I feel like that's me because when I was younger, I lived with my grandparents. And like when I was born, they literally took me and I lived with them. So like I find myself feeling like, because me and my grandfather were like this. And he would always tell me like, you're going to be somebody. And he always like believed in me in a way where we would have conversations like we're having now. And I was only like 6, 7, 8, and we're having real conversations. And I was
Mm-hmm.
telling my mom, like, I think that, because she'll slip up and call me her mom. Like, she'll say to me her mom's name, or she'll call me her father. Like, she'll say these things. And I sometimes feel as if maybe in a way I am.
And not only that, genetically, both of her parents can talk to her through you, and she's psychic, so she know which one of her parents is using you as the oracle to talk to her. That's why you end up being called sometime her mother, sometime her father, right? Because they can communicate with her in a language that she understood comes from them, separate from how you talk.
Mm.
Like you might not notice the subtle changes in the word selection. Her being a psychic sensitive, because all the shit that you just described means she's highly psychic sensitive. And so she can distinguish when her mama talking through you or her dad talking through you in order to get a message to her. She can pick it up, but she don't consciously know it.
Mm.
But subconsciously, she instantly knew what was going on.
Because both of her parents have passed on. Like my grandmother and my grandfather have both passed on. And she tells me all the time that she will be at home and she will see my grandfather with her. Like people think she's crazy. I don't like saying crazy because we all crazy. We all insane. We all ain't got no marbles. But
I'm gonna tell you who crazy.
oh.
Them motherfuckers you see in DC is fucking bat loony ass lunatics.
Sick.
Them the motherfuckers crazy. Them motherfucking priests sucking on them little boys' pee-pee is insane. Them rabbis doing the same thing as lunatics. They off they fucking rocker. Your mama ain't doing none of that shit. So she can't be too fucking crazy.
She's just protected in different ways that many don't understand. Because she told me early on that I was going to be this person. Because I used to get into a lot of trouble. But I always tell people, if you don't know how to transmute your energy, you're always going to remain in. You're going to stay. Because when you're a genius, and we all are geniuses, we all are divine beings, and you don't know how to transmute that energy, you're going to get caught up in this world. And she always would tell me, like, the stuff you're doing, you're not going to be doing that for long. And I used to always think me and my mom were going to clash, like, for so long. But once I really understood that I can only be healed through her, that's when I used to sit and I'm like, because it was time I didn't talk to my mom for 3 years. So I was so angry on the inside. I never felt like that in my life. I felt more angry than I did when I was into it with her, living in the same house as her. So once I understood that, I started looking. I'm like, man, I am you, and I couldn't be mad at her anymore. I just.
Look, my mom and my older sister used to bicker, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so one day my